Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chine. If this is your first time here, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. And please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be notified. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of making this beautiful wrap top. So I posted a video on how to make the skirt, so some people requested I post a video on how to make the top. So if you're interested in learning how I made this top, please keep watching. To make this top, I'll be using 1.5 yard of flowered crepe material. I'll be using scissors, my chalk, and of course my measuring tape. So to start with, I'll fold my fabric into two. Now I'll start cutting from the back. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is to get the length of my top. So the length of my top is 17. I'll add 1 inch for folding. You can either add 1 inch or 1.5. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to get my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder measurement is 14 inches. If I divide it by 2, I'll have 7. So I'll just mark 7 inches. Then I'll come down by 1 inch on the shoulder, and the 1 inch is for my shoulder slant. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to get the neck width and the neck depth. Please, I'm starting the drafting of this top from the back. After drafting the back, I will just draft the front. Okay, so for the neck width, I'm using 3 inches, and for the neck depth, I'm using 1 inch. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to get my chest line. And to get the chest line, you divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5. So my bust measurement is 33. If I divide it by 6 and add 1.5, I'll have 7 inches. So I'm going to add ½ inch for the shoulder joining. Okay, so the next thing I'll do now is to use my ruler to connect from the shoulder to the chest line. You can actually use freehand to do this. You must not use a ruler. Okay, so the next thing I'll do is to divide that line by 2, then come in by 0.5. So the next thing you will do is to use your ruler to connect the armhole. Okay, after connecting the armhole, I'll start imputing my measurements. So for the bust measurement, my bust is 33. If I divide it by 4, I'll have 8.25. Then I'll add 2 inches for sewing allowance. Please, you don't have to add more than 2 inches. Remember, the top is meant to be fitted. Okay, you can either use 1.5 or 2 inches. So I'll just put my bust measurement, then add 2 inches allowance. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to put my waist measurement. So my waist measurement is 27. I'll divide it by 4, then add 2 inches. Okay, so I'll just put the waist measurement plus 2 inches, then I'll use my ruler to connect the lines. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out this top, then place it on another fabric to cut the front. So I'll go ahead and cut the back, then I'll show you guys how it looks. Okay, so this is the back of my top. I'm done cutting it here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut the front. So I'll fold my fabric into 2, then place the back on it, then cut out the front. Okay, I'll be folding my fabric into 2, then I'll place my back on top of the fabric so I can cut out the front. Now for my front extension, I'm going to be using 7 inches. Okay, for some people it might be different, but I'm going to be using 7 inches. That's my waist measurement divided by 4. So after getting my front extension, the next thing I'll be doing is to use my scissors to trace out the front. Okay, so the most important part I'm tracing out is the sides, the armhole, and the shoulder. So after tracing out the front part, the next thing I'm going to do is to get the depth of my neck. Now I'll be using 8 inches. You can decide to use 9 or 10 inches, especially if you want your cleavage to show. 10 inches will be perfect, or 11. So after getting the depth of my neck, I'll go down to the extension and come up by 2.5. Okay, so that's where I'm going to be fixing my rope. So with free hand, just draw a curve to the width of the shoulder. Okay, make sure your curve is touching the 8 inches you came down with. Okay, so just, you can either use ruler or you use free hand to do this. Okay, it's very easy to do. So just connect it the way you see me doing. Make sure it's touching the 8 inches you came down with. So after doing that, just use your scissors to cut out the front. Okay, so once I'm done cutting out the front, I'll just put it aside and cut the sleeve. Okay, just do exactly what you see me doing and you have a nice fitted wrap top. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the sleeve now. To cut the sleeve, I'll first of all measure the length of my sleeve. The length of my sleeve is 11 inches, so I'm going to be adding 1 inch for folding. Okay, and the width of my sleeve is 15 inches. I don't really have enough fabric. I would have made it 18 or 20 inches. So the length is 11 plus 1 inch for folding, and the width is 15 inches. Okay, for this sleeve I folded my fabric into two as well. So after getting the length and the width of my sleeve, on the side of the sleeve I'll come down by 4.5. so this is a puff sleeve. The next thing I'll be doing is to use my chalk to connect to the top of the sleeve. Okay, just do it exactly the way you see me doing it now. So just connect it, then use your scissors to cut out the sleeve. The sleeve is going to have pleats on the shoulder. So after cutting it out, the next thing is to start joining the top. So to join the top, the first thing I'm going to be doing is to use bias tape to turn the neck of the front and the back. I'm also going to be hemming the downside. I'll just go to my sewing machine and do that, then I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'm done hemming the front and the back. Please do not forget, I also had to hem the down part. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing now is to join the shoulder. Okay, the top is coming together. The next thing I'll do now is to join the shoulder. After joining the shoulder, I'll tell you guys the next thing too. You can still use lining to do the facing instead of using bias, but since this is a crepe material, I had to use bias. So I'm done joining the shoulder here. I also went ahead to join the sides. So for the sides, I only took 1 inch. Okay, the other I added 2 inches for my sewing allowance, but to sew it I had to use 1 inch. The other 1 inch is for ease. Okay, so I like joining the sides before fixing the sleeve. You can fix the sleeve before joining the sides. Just do what works for you. I feel more comfortable joining the sides before joining the sleeves. Okay, so for the sleeves I'm going to be putting elastic. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to hem the down part so I can be able to pass the elastic. But before that, I'm going to be attaching the sleeve to the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to open. I left like ½ inch from the side, so I will be able to fix my sleeve. I'll start fixing the sleeve from the side of the top, and once I'm getting to the shoulder, I will start pleating. I will just pleat the excess on the sleeve. I'm done pleating the sleeves here, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fix in my elastic, then I'll close the sleeve. I'm using ½ inch of elastic, so I'll just fix the elastic, then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So I'm done fixing the elastic here, and this is what it looks like. Now for the length of elastic, you can actually use the length of your round sleeve. Okay, so that the elastic will not be too tight. So the last thing I'm going to be doing now is to fix my rope. So I've already sewn the rope. The next thing I'll be doing is to fix the rope. Now the length and the width of this rope is solely depending on you that is sewing. Some people like their rope to be smaller, and some people like their rope to be bigger. So it all depends on you. So I'll be using bias tape to turn the rope, then I'll show you guys the finished result. So this is the finished result. The wrap top is ready, and you can actually create a space on the seam line so you'll be able to pass your rope. And if you don't want to create a space inside, you can just tie the wrap top like that. So this is the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned something. Please, if you have any question, ask me in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be notified. And if you want to learn how I made the skirt, I'll put the link in the description box, so just go and watch it so you'll be able to make the top and the skirt. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.